What's up, everyone? This is Silver Slayer, and welcome to my daily 10 p.m. video. I want to thank you for tuning into this video. Now, look, unfortunately, silver prices are going to stay lower for the meantime, right? And I'm not worried, but when it comes to the newer stackers, right, people can usually brush off a day or two, but when it comes to multiple days or even weeks, people really start to get worried, right? That's where the fear, uncertainty, the doubt comes in. That's where panic selling, impulsive decision making, irrational thoughts, because you're so emotionally attached, you want the price to go up, but it's just not doing that. Now, we're going to talk about why this is happening, and also how much longer do we think the price is going to be, in the red, right? So right here, the 1 month chart, you can see a dramatic pullback from around $26.25 all the way down to right below 25, right? So right now it might look scary, but in the grand scheme of things, we know the prices are going to correct. And that's why I like to make these types of videos, to show people that, look, the price compared to last year is still up drastically, and in the grand scheme of things, it's not going to stay low forever, especially when we find out, when I tell you the reason why the price is low right now, you'll definitely get an idea of what's going to happen or what's soon to come. So anyways, the link to this article will be in the description. So silver price forecast. Silver markets continue to look sick. So silver markets have gapped a little bit higher to kick off the trading session on Tuesday, only to turn around and show signs of exhaustion. At this point, we are threatening the overall trend. So, it's looking like it's going to stay down and maybe even go a little lower. Just take that as an opportunity to buy silver for cheaper while you can. Because trust me, in a couple years or even a year, you're going to be wishing you could go back in time and pay $26 for an ounce of silver. I can guarantee you, you're going to be wishing that you could pay $26 for an ounce of silver someday. Silver markets have initially gapped higher to kick off the trading session on Tuesday, but then turned around to show signs of exhaustion. Ultimately, the $25 level underneath has shown itself to be an important from a psychological and structural standpoint. And that's the thing. The psychological standpoint is really important, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of times, psychology plays a lot into investing. A lot of times we don't think about that, but when it comes to your perception, that's decision making. And decision making is what you do when you're buying, selling, trading, or even holding, right? It's all about decision making. So if you're someone who's very panicky, very antsy, very anxious, that's gonna play into the way you invest. But if you're someone very cool, calm, collect, thinks of everything very positively, then you're probably going to have a different type of outcome than someone who's very, tense and always panicky, right? A lot of times we don't think about that. So, if you're having a hard day at work, or maybe, stress around the house or with your family and all that, that can affect your stacking. At this point, it looks very likely that we are going to continue to go lower, but obviously we have a significant amount of support to chew through first. So it's looking like it is going to go lower. They're saying, it is likely that it will go lower. But we do have a lot of support, and we do, right? The support is what it's trying to stay above. The resistance is what it's trying to break through. So if you go back here, the resistance right here is around $26.50. You can see right here, try to go above right here. And then the support is what it's trying to stay above. So if it breaks below this, it could go lower a lot faster. Now, the US dollar has been strengthening as well. So that, of course, works against the value of precious metals also, right? The dollar index is silver's worst nightmare, but the dollar index's worst nightmare is also silver, right? It can work both ways. So at this point in time, it is worth paying close attention to this market, because if we do break through all of the support, it could be a bit like a trap door to much lower pricing. And that's the scary thing, is if it does break lower, we might see silver staying low for a long period of time. Now, how long, right? And long is, I guess, that could be interpreted from a couple weeks to a couple months, right? I mean, if I say long, that's up to you to determine what that means. Now, that can also be a very dangerous thing. Just like when I say silver markets are going to be exploding soon, some people see that soon title and they think I'm talking about tomorrow, where I might be talking about soon as in, the next couple of months or the next several months, when it's all just interpretation. So anyways, looking at this chart, it has a lot of negativity built into it, but it is still technically in an ascending triangle. So I believe that we are at a major inflection point. For what it's worth, the US dollar has been skyrocketing against a lot of different things. So shooting higher here should not make a huge surprise. So to the upside, we would need to wipe out the losses from Monday at the very least to start thinking about a bullish trade. But even then, I see a significant amount of resistance that could come back into play, extending all the way back to the 50-day EMA. Breaking above the 50-day EMA allows the market to go looking towards the gap above. So anyways, it definitely could mean that things might stay a little bearish for a while, but it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. If you're not selling for the next 5, 10, 15 years, then that means you're probably buying, right? So if you're going to be buying in the meantime, this means we can only get more silver for cheaper. That's all it means. Nothing else. There's nothing else that can come from this besides getting better deals for silver, right? There's literally no other reason. The only reason this would be, I guess, quote unquote, a bad situation for anyone is if they're planning on selling right now, because they would have to sell their silver for cheaper. But if you're not selling, then it doesn't matter. The only other reason why people like when the price goes higher right now is because they need validation that it can. And we all know that silver's worth a lot more than $26. You don't need validation. You don't need confirmation. Trust me, silver is worth a lot more than $26. Everyone knows it. Nobody needs to tell you that. Charts don't need to show you that right now. Silver is a much slower paced investment, and rightfully so. It's supposed to be. That's why it's such a safe haven. That's why it's such a perfect investment, is because it can't be manipulated at the rate of crypto, because it's not built solely off speculation. There's supply and demand fundamentals because it's tangible. With that said, don't expect it to explode tomorrow. Silver should be slower paced, and this is usually the time where the real stackers versus the fake stackers, start to get weeded out. The people that came over from Wall Street bets thinking they're just going to short squeeze the market and get rich quick, these people are going to be leaving soon. Now, the ones that understand silver, the ones that have been watching the right types of content or doing the right research, they hopefully should be taking advantage of this. And if you go on Wall Street Silver, most people are, right? A lot of times people view them as just a whole bunch of people that don't understand silver, that think they could have pushed it to thousands of dollars. And that's really not the case, right? It really isn't, which is sad that people think that. But regardless, there are a lot of new stackers that are going to be staying in the silver market and are understanding silver's true value and understanding why we invest into silver, specifically looking at the dollar. And trust me, the dollar index is not going to stay high forever. The dollar strength is declining. The fiat system is collapsing. And the amount of money we're throwing out is not going to make it any better, not making anything better. It's only going to make things much, much worse. And at the end of the day, everything is pointing towards silver coming out on top, right? Whether situation A, B, C, D plays out, whether scenario A, B, C, D plays out, it's all going to be bullish for silver. But you can't think so narrow-minded. You can't think so short. You have to look at the bigger picture. And hopefully you're not planning on selling for several years, because if you're trying to sell within 1 or 2 years, you're going to be, pun intended, selling yourself short, right? To really get to really reap the rewards of silver, what it has to offer, it's going to take some time, because, every automobile company going electric by the year 2030, that's when, the silver demand is going to be picking up. I just made a video 2 days ago showing a literal chart of when we're going to run out of silver, the below ground supply, the above ground supply, and when it's going to be all bought up. I literally made a video showing how many years it's going to take until we literally run out of silver. And once you look at that type of information, when you look at those charts, when you look at those graphs, when you read that type of information, it's blatantly obvious that one, silver is extremely low right now, and two, it's going to go a lot higher. So anyways, I'm going to wrap this video up here. I just did a 46K giveaway. I just gave away silver to 2 lucky winners. And guess what? We're already halfway to my 47K giveaway. So you better click subscribe if you want a chance to win some free silver. And make sure you click the bell, because if not, you might not get notified when that entry video gets posted and you'll miss your opportunity. That would be a terrible thing. Right, every time I do the premiered videos, I see people in the live chat saying, man, is it too late to enter? And I'm like, yeah, it is. I mean, I talk about it in almost every video, telling you guys, go enter, so make sure you do that, because I would hate for someone to miss an opportunity to win some silver. That's why, I try to talk about it so much. It's also why I leave the entry videos open for so long. But anyways, what do you think about this? Do you see this as a good thing? Do you think this could be bad news for silver? What do you think? Are you just going to keep buying it? Are you a little worried? And it's okay if you are. It's okay. If you're new, if you've never seen a correction, if you've never seen a dip like this or a sell-off, it can be scary. And I'm sure every single person, including me, the first time prices get lower from where we bought at, and they stay lower, your stomach turns a little bit. I mean, that's natural. That's normal. But I'm here to tell you it's okay. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.